Welcome to a new video. Make yourselves comfortable, grab a beer or something, because right now we're going to talk about everything I owe you. About Z4 from where we left off a year ago until today and what's coming next. Once upon a time, nah, just kidding. The last thing you heard about Z4 was that I brought it over. In fact, there's a video, the last video about Z4. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'm going to make a parenthesis. I have my stuff organized in folders on my YouTube, my projects, the motorcycle, the Z4, and when I came to Miami, the Maserati, everything. So if you want to know about the Z4, go to my videos and you'll see folders, and you go to the one for the Z4. There you'll find all Z4 information. So just in case you wanted to know, that's all. But if you want to know everything about the Maserati, it says Maserati folder there and all the information is there. So if you haven't seen the latest about the Z4, which was a year ago, it's there in the folders. But anyway, the last thing you heard about the Z4 was that I brought it from Laredo. Yeah, it was from Laredo. Well, no, it wasn't from Laredo. It was from El Paso, Texas. I brought it from Texas to Mexico. And by this time, let me explain a little. I moved to Miami. Moving to Miami happened in a very strange, very spontaneous way because Sophie was offered a job. For those who don't know, let me tell you a little bit. It's part of what I'm telling you. Sophie was offered a job. How was it? Like 6 months before, 7, 8, a long time before. And obviously Sophie said yes because it's a good opportunity for her in terms of work and everything. We decided to come to Miami without actually knowing it. We didn't know Miami, and the first time we saw it was with our suitcases. It was really strange, but that's how it was. So they offered Sophie this job to come to Miami, and Sophie said yes. We said yes, we both agreed. We said, let's go for it. And after they offered her the job, did they actually give it to her? 6 months went by, 8 months, a lot of time passed, and we didn't hear anything, nothing about the job. It got to the point where we said, well, we're not going to Miami anymore. Let's just move on with what we had. And oh well, all of this happened because, as they explained to him, there were a lot of different conflicts thanks to the war in Russia. It was right when the whole war started, and there were a lot of important issues in Europe and so on that affected the segment he was working in. So Sophie literally stopped. She stopped. All these changes in positions, new jobs and so on were suspended. Everything was frozen. So Sophie would ask and no one would answer her. She would send emails to the person who contacted her to offer her the job and they wouldn't reply. So we said, dude, we didn't move to Miami. And I was desperate to take the Z4 to Mexico so I could finally have it in my hands and start working on the Z4. You guys didn't know, but while it was in Texas, Paco cut the harness, the main harness of the car, which I never understood why he did it. We got mad, we argued. I told him, dude, get away from my car. Don't you know how to do your job? In the end, we made up. The problem wasn't solved because he cut a bunch of cables like this, so the problem wasn't solved. But we said, dude, let's just finish it already. I was saying, please just give me my car back. I don't want to know anything else. However it is, just send it to me. I went to Texas, finished assembling it at Comodiera, then brought it back to Mexico. I brought it back to Mexico right when I returned. They told Sophie, you're moving to Miami. Your position is already closed. The application has gone through. Everything is ready for you to come in 2 weeks, And Sophie was like, dude, no, what do you mean 2 weeks? We're not going to move to Guadalajara in 2 weeks, dude. We're not just moving to another state nearby. We're moving to another country. What do you mean in 2 weeks? And yeah, her new boss was really in a hurry for her to start working, so she could explain some things that were only going to happen during that time. So it instantly shifted our mindset from you don't live in Miami yet to now you really live in Miami. As for Z, he had just arrived in Mexico. And well, the first thing I did was take it to the electrician to fix what Paco had cut. They recommended a great electrician and I knew his location, so I took it there. And he said, well, just leave it with me. I'll start working on it and let you know how things are going. For this, I swear to you guys, the last thing I did before going to Miami was leave the Z. I left it on Friday and on Saturday I flew to Miami. My suitcases were packed, the apartment was ready, and we had moved. That's it. So the very last thing I took out was the Z, and it was to take it to the electric guy, and obviously leaving it with the electric guy. An electrician was recommended to me, so I said it's in good hands and let him decide what needs to be done with the car. And well, let's see, I'm not in such a hurry anymore because I'm not even going to, understand me. I stopped worrying about the Z and started thinking about what I'd do in Miami. Out of nowhere, it turns out I already live in Miami. It's really strange. So yeah, the Z, I left it with the electrician and he started working on it and told me, dude, there are 2 ways to solve this. The fastest way is for you to buy a new harness. The other solution is, well, imagine about 600 wires trying to figure out which one is which and which ones to connect together. He told me, man, that's not an option. It is an option. I can do it for you, but it's not worth it. It's better if you get a new harness, bring it to me and we'll put it in and see if things work. Why? Why is the harness important? There were 2 scenarios. If Paco cut the harness with the battery disconnected, nothing happens. You put in a new harness, plug everything in, connect the battery, and it works. If Paco cut the harness with the battery connected, then you short-circuit the whole car. So the only way to know if he short-circuited the whole car was with a new harness. So he told me, dude, get a new harness. For all of this, and a big part of why I made the decision I did, and you guys will understand me, it's because the Z, well, it's a very rare car, it's a very unique car, and it's a car you can't find any parts for. So getting the harness is a hassle, and if I need to get more parts for the Z, it's a hassle. The reality is, in Mexico, you rarely see many Zs on the street. You see one of those a year. I think if you're lucky, you see one a year. So there's a big shortage of cars and as a result of parts. So something I've been struggling with since I started the Z project, which has now turned into a completely different project. In fact, the project right now is just not letting it die. So since you started the Z project, has it been a hassle to get parts? So was that also one of the reasons why I made the decision I made? We're heading there right now, but I got the harness in the United States. I sent it to him for this. All of this that I'm telling you about, well, it's weeks and weeks and weeks and days that go by and months, and they turn into years. I've already spent a year on the electric one because it was before I came to Miami, and now I've already spent a year in Miami. So the days, the hours, the weeks go by without you even noticing. It's already been a year, but anyway, I got the harness, I sent it on one of my trips, so I took it with me and left it with the electric one. To install it, he has to completely take the car apart, remove the dashboard, seat, carpets. I'm gonna leave a diagram of the harness here so you can understand what I'm telling you. It's literal, they're like the veins of a human. That's how the shape of the car and all the wires look. So then to remove the old one and put in the new one, you have to take apart the whole car. So the electrician took apart the whole car just to see if the harness worked. If Paco hadn't burned everything we thought or hoped he hadn't burned, the electrician reconnected everything. Months passed and then the moment of truth arrived. And we realized that indeed the harness had been cut without disconnecting the battery and there had been a short circuit throughout the whole car. So is it no longer useful, man? Nothing means nothing. From the generator to the lights, stereo seats, heating, interior lights, nothing works at all. So that's what the electrician told me. So we came to a third conclusion. Should we buy a donor car like Yuka did with the 135 and transfer everything from that car to the Z? In this case, no, it doesn't really make sense to me. Second, start buying parts and see what's missing. If, for example, a certain module wasn't burned, we can save that one. But if another module was burned, we need to get it. Even if we save it, getting parts from the Z is very hard, so we ruled out that option. And the third option, with the drifter already desperate, is basically to make it a race car, put the essential functions on toggle switches, mouse switches right there on the dashboard, just like a race car, and get rid of everything else. Forget about the seats, forget about the stereo, forget about the comforts. The only things that will be useful are the windows, the gearbox, the convertible top, which by the way they make sure works, and the lights. That's it. So yeah, we came to the conclusion that the easiest thing was to turn the car into a drift car or a race car. Let me know in the comments, what do you prefer? What should it be? A track car to take to the racetrack or a drift car to do crazy stuff? Which one do you prefer? I think it's going to be a car. At least I told the electric one that it should be functional on the street. I mean, if I want to use it to go get tortillas, I can use it too. A big part of what I want is to have a car when I go to Mexico, because as you've seen on all my social media, every time I go to Mexico, well, I borrow cars from agencies, from brands, and it's cool because I get to try different types of cars. Recently, I tried the Camaro, which is awesome, but it's also a bit inconvenient not having your own way to get around. When I'm there, I want it too, mainly so it can be my car over there. So right now, the Zeed is on its way. We've already told the electrician to go ahead and take care of it, to make it as much of a race car as possible, or as functional as possible. And he's already working on it. He already got the convertible top working. I think he already got the windows working too, so it's coming along. He said it'll take him another month to finish, though with mechanics that could easily become 2 or 3 months. So I guess I hope that in a month or 2 or so we'll see the Z back on my social media. And well, that's all, brothers. Obviously, I have mixed feelings because, you know, we wanted the project to be as original as possible. From the beginning, since I named it the N55, then the N54, and then since I started the project, I wanted it to be a race car, but when I say race car, I mean I wanted it to be as street as possible, but we always had the doubt of whether we wanted a race car. Also, because we also want a car to have fun with, we also want a car, well, to have our own fun car. To take it to the racetrack, to take it to the track, to do donuts, to do crazy things with it too. I always wanted a car like that. So it's not like I'm very worried, on the contrary. I'm glad to know that the Z is moving forward one way or another. It's a car that's going to be 100. Well, just to have fun, which also excites me a lot because it's literally my toy. It's going to be my toy. Now it still is. This doesn't mean that I'm not a super meticulous and super perfectionist person. And even though it's a race car or a drift car or whatever kind of car it's going to be, I'm going to try to make it look as nice as possible. That it looks good, that the interior is nice, that it isn't damaged, that it's polished, that it's perfect. And well, it's going to end up being a car that if you look inside, maybe it'll be a race car. That's what I'm telling you. I don't think it'll be soon, okay? Because it's expensive to put in seats, it's expensive to put in a steering wheel, it's expensive. Pedals, it's expensive to put in everything you want to do. Cage, exhaust system, etc, etc, etc. It's hard for me, but I'll have it soon. Obviously, my plan is that right now, when the electrician gives it back to me in a month or 2, take it to my parents' house, since, as you know, my dad has a little workshop there where I want to start working on the Zeed and try to make it look as nice as possible and try to fix it up. What I know is wrong, like screws that don't belong, a bent part that needs straightening, or headlights that need fixing, you know? So I'm really eager to have it in my hands already so I can start doing everything I want to do to it. I want to put an exhaust system on it. I want to get the tune done right because the tune, well, yeah, the tune is wrong, the mapping, the remap, all of that is wrong. So I want to get it fixed up and start using it because it's about time we start using this car. That's why I also decided to stop dealing with problems and make it as race ready as possible, because that's going to save me a lot of trouble in the future. So if something breaks down, it's probably just a fuse, you change it and that's it. And it's not going to be like, oh, it's the module and we need a scanner to connect it to the computer and it's not detecting it anymore. Forget about that. It's going to be something I can fix as easily as possible. So I really like that and it excites me. So tell me, guys, what do you think about this in the comments? Tell me what you want us to do with the ZEV4. If you want it for track or drift, I'll read your comments. If you want specific rims or seats, you might say those seats would look great on it. Should we add a cage or not? It already has a roll bar, but that's not the same as a full cage. Yeah, despite all this, we try to make it look more or less stock, or if we're going for it, we go all out. Box it in, strip the carpets, clear everything, and make it race ready. I hear you, I read your comments, and well, I'm excited too. I'm excited. 1, that I'll finally be able to use it, I hope, and 2, well, that too. I also really wanted to have a race car, a fun car, a car that vibrates all over, that makes all kinds of noises, that feels as natural as possible. Yeah, that excites me too. And brothers, I hope you liked it. I'll read your comments and see you in the next video.